It's been a long day.
A long day. Did you have a good birthday party?
Mm-hmm. I I was good. I had a choice between an 8 ounce, a 12 ounce, and a 16 ounce piece of prime rib, and I got the 8 ounce. So I was very proud of myself that I showed forbearance, and that was fine for me. Well, the amount I ate was fine for me, and I'm
Yeah.
comfortably full, and so I was proud that I got the smaller cut and didn't pig out like I could have.
Well,
So, and my sister and her husband picked up the tab, so didn't even have to pay for it. So,
wow. You did
for
you
which I'll be eternally grateful.
you come out good there, didn't you?
Yeah. I made a contact while I was there. Our waitress is looking for other means of making money, so I gave her my card and I got her name and phone number, and I'll be calling her to see what I can do to interest her in. So I was good there too. So
Well, that
she
was
seemed like a
good.
real nice girl. She said she's uh, single and living in Canton, so on her own. So hopefully get some good prospect.
Let's see who else is joining us in here. This is Mike in Georgia, and you've reached our winning team training call for this evening. Please tell us who you are, where you're calling from.
This is David Mincy from Melbourne, Florida.
David Mincy from Melbourne. Good evening, David. We're glad to hear you in here tonight.
Yeah, I figured out I got on their cases. I made them uh, come alive and do better.
Maybe they'll come around and do better, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. We've been missing you on the calls here the last couple of nights. So.
Yeah, I've been missing being on. Hi, Reverend Dave.
Hey David, how you doing, buddy?
I'm here.
I heard
I'm
that.
extremely tired, but I'm here.
Join the club. It's been a busy day for me, and I'm ready for bed as soon as this call's over. So,
I've been at it since the 3:45 this morning.
well, you've been at it longer than I have. I've been up since 8, so. But I'm still tired. I'm an older man, so I have to get my beauty rest.
That's good.
You have to get your beauty rest, huh?
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I'll turn ugly. And you don't want to see me when I'm ugly.
No. Well, we're mighty glad to hear y'all in here. Sandy left me a note, said she'd be in here tonight, so. We'll give it a little time and pacify a little bit and give her a chance to get in here. Anybody got anything exciting going on tonight?
Yeah, I got an email from my sponsor.
From your sponsor,
Yeah,
Nelson?
it says now. It says now hiring investment work at home lead generation, expanding global internet marketing company seeking work at home people to generate leads. We offer marketing software and tools for your online business. Work 2 to 4 hours a day posting ads on free classifieds on the internet. We give you a list of free locations to post to. You never need to talk to anyone. We pay for each lead you generate, whether they buy or not. Make up to $500 a day. We pay you. You don't pay us.
uh, well, we'd have to look into that a whole lot more seriously. I've got,
I just deleted it.
that sounds like probably what I would do. I was reluctant to say that, but that's probably what I would do. Good evening. Who else has joined us? Is this Miss Sandy that joined us this evening?
Yes, it's me. And Doug is saying, run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did I hear the bell ring? Someone else coming in here?
Yes, someone else come in. Hi, everyone. It's Marnie.
Good evening,
Hi,
Marty.
Marnie.
It's our favorite Canadian. Yay!
Favorite comedian, huh? No, Canadian. That's what you said.
Canadian. Yeah. I knew you'd say that, Reverend Dave.
How did you know that? You know me too well, Marnie.
Well, it's good to hear everybody's voice.
It's
Yeah,
good to
we
hear
missed
you. We haven't heard you in a little while, so it's good to hear you again.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
I was just, before y'all two ladies joined us just now, I was just asking if anybody had anything exciting for the night or anything like that before we get started.
I wrote a message for the safe list yesterday
Yeah.
about the 22-year-old boy that died, the baseball player.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, apparently a potential all-star outfielder with St. Louis Cardinals, and he died down in the Dominican Republic driving a 2014 Chevrolet Camaro. No
Oh.
details on the wreck, but he was killed.
Mm.
And it just brought to mind to me that this kid had the world by the tail,
Yeah.
and now he's gone, and he has nothing, unless he, of course, he called on Christ to save him. But we don't know about that. But it just reinforces my belief that no matter what our position in life, none of us have any guarantees. We have no guarantee for life or even liberty because the government's trying to take that away from us now.
Yeah.
But we can choose to have the pursuit of happiness. And that's what it's all about. It's about pursuing happiness, not saying, well, I'm here now and I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. That's not what it's about. It's about pursuing happiness, chasing it down, and letting it run ahead of us, because it will never catch it. But so long as we're pursuing it, we'll be worthwhile and we'll be profitable, and we will be the answer to people's prayer. And that's what I wrote in my email blast yesterday. That if we choose to make a difference, then we are making a step in the right direction and trying to help people out and trying to make a difference. So that was the gist of my message. It was a lot shorter than that, but that's what I wanted to say about that. So
That's very interesting, very accurate, very true. And that's really what we're all about. Is
I
go ahead,
oh,
Marty.
sorry.
Go ahead, Marty.
I agree totally with what you said, Reverend Dave, because you know, when we're down and out or things are bothering us or whatever, you know, we have to stop and think of people that are worse off than ourselves. And, you know, be thankful for what we do have. You know, because you're right, you don't know from one day to the next what is going to happen.
We're not promised tomorrow.
no, we're not.
Some of us not even promised today. But we
for the
got.
next 5 minutes.
We're getting too short now. Let's don't cut it down too far.
Okay.
Marty, what have you been up to in the last couple of weeks? We've missed you here, and we just wondered.
Well, I was at a friend's house looking after her house and her pets,
Yeah.
and I had no computer to be on, so when I came home, it was only through the day because I had to be back there for the evening, So that's one
Right.
reason why I wasn't on any of the calls for about a week and a half, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, I almost didn't make this one because I thought it was going to be, sometimes Tuesdays are not a good night. I will not be on the call next Tuesday.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Remember at one point, one of the either Tuesday or Thursdays were not the greatest day for me?
Yeah,
Evening?
I remember that. You know, I think
Yeah, well,
it
it
started out
appears
Thursday.
now. Yeah, I think it was Thursdays. Now it appears to be every Tuesday.
Okay.
But today, or this evening was different, so I thought I'd better get on it.
Well, we are glad you're here and honored that
Okay.
you are a valuable member of this team, and we always appreciate your input. So, when you can make it, we're glad.
Thank you.
Mr. David, you've missed a couple calls, but I know why, and hopefully we're working towards a solution for that problem. But you got anything you want to add tonight besides your email there?
No, I just I got another letter in the yard today for I've embarrassed the city of Melbourne and they're picking on me.
I thought you had that settled.
No, I did. They came out and put signs up. They reduced the speed limit around the corner, and I embarrassed them, and they're really hot at me, you know. So, Madam's attorney was really mad at me. So, the code enforcement guy's picking on me, and this is what I'm going to tell him at the next board meeting in December. I said, I have a question. I want to know when this constitutes harassment. Number one question.
Right.
And number two is, I got a novel idea, you know. I'm rebuilding an engine in a truck in the backyard, and that's what they're picking on me about. And it's in the backyard with a hole fenced in, and it's got a tag on it and insurance. and I says, I got a novel idea, Mr. City of Melbourne. Why don't you all pay me back the money you stole from me when my mother passed away? And it'd be a little easier to rebuild that in. And then, on the second hand, I said, y'all are no more than the den of thieves. That's a license to steal. That's what it is. So, you know, I've had it with them.
Yeah, well, I can understand that.
And I need to find that paper where I had permission to, you know, have them poles. And I kept my word. I took the poles out when they came out because Madam Attorney asked me, he says, well, are you going to take them poles out? I said, yes, ma'am, I'll take them out for you. She says, well, when? I said, when you come out, put yours up. So they put poles up on the corner, and I marked them with a reflector, and they put poles down the street with a big caution sign with an arrow going around it and dropped the speed limit down to 15 miles an hour. They're upset with me because they had to spend all that money and do all that work.
Oh, man. It's always good to hear that one of the citizens of this country is winning. And it seems to me that you're a thorn in their side probably, but it does seem to me that you're winning.
Well, you know, the engineering lady says, I called her up and I said, hey, you promised me that these signs would be reflective. She says, well, they are. I said, they're 7 foot in the air and you can't see them when the headlights hit them. And the whole point of having those on the corner is to mark the corner so they don't run through the lawn 5 feet from the house. Okay?
Yeah.
So I went out there and put a piece of reflective tape on it, on the pole. And I told her, I said, yeah, there's really no winners in this thing. And she says, you've won this one. it's one thing to beat them, but it's another thing to get them to admit it.
To admit it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's glad. I'm glad to hear somebody's winning.
David, you said you were a thorn in their side.
No,
Well, I said that.
Oh, Mike said that. I had another
Yeah.
analogy, but it's more like a pain in the neck, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. What were you thinking?
That sounds like a good analogy there.
Yeah, that's my excitement for the last 2 months.
Well, that's
I've been to 2 board members meetings, and I'm fixing to go to the 3rd one. And I already told you what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them they're no more than a den of thieves. The license fee.
just be careful. We don't want you to wind up with some free room and board there or anything like that. So be careful. But, fight the good fight, but make it a good one.
Yeah, it's been a good one. They don't like it much. See, the whole problem is the supervisor, the new supervisor who used to go to church with me. And we didn't get along years back, you know. And he is the new supervisor for the city of Melbourne, and I've embarrassed him now. So now I've got his feathers up, and he's out to get me. So.
I got a feeling I know the winner though.
Yeah, I got the best attorney on the planet, and I don't have to spend a dime.
And that's true too.
He's already taken him out. I mean, caused problems for him. He don't even know that I know that it happened. I was listening to somebody at church one night, and they had said they had to go out to his house and fix his air conditioner and all kinds of stuff, you know. Had all kinds of electrical problems. Oh, my goodness.
Miss Sandy, how about you and Doug? Have y'all had a good week, or you got anything exciting you want to share?
No, very busy. Haven't done much marketing to speak of. So I saw the, the emails about the different businesses come through, and haven't been able to do anything about it. So trying to play catch up, but busy with real estate, thank God.
Well, you always got that, and that's good. That's good.
Well, how is the real estate in the States?
Much improved.
Pardon?
Very much improved. It's
Oh, okay.
picking up, really.
Does it depend on the states though too still?
Some states are doing better than others, of course, but we're busy and seeing some sales finally. So it's been good.
Because I know at one point, I think I mentioned before that here around where I am, it goes up and down, but it's because of where we live, or where I live, because some of the provinces, the real estate is much higher.
Mm-hmm.
And Brantford is not, how do you put it? A lot of people live in Brantford because of the fact it's not as highly priced when they commute.
There's so many variables with it. You just can't predict what's going to happen
No.
tomorrow. So it's everybody's saying, "Oh, we got to get sold before Thanksgiving." So who knows? You don't know.
Why would you have to be? I know your Thanksgiving is coming up soon. Why before Thanksgiving?
Oh, they feel that the holidays, the market starts to dry up.
Okay.
People think that they said that about, when school started, and they about Thanksgiving, and about Christmas. It just, just babble, really. You don't know the way it's going.
Well, I was always told if they want to buy your house, they're going to buy it. Doesn't matter when.
That's true.
That's right.
And, but they do say that there is certain seasons that are better. And you're correct. Here's the saying that coming up isn't the greatest time to be doing it because a lot of people don't want to move. Well, unless you're in where, Mike is, and David, where it's weather's nice all year round, but when you got snow and that, a lot of people don't want to move.
Yeah, they don't want to get involved with that moving
No.
in snow and ice.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But right now,
What
we're
if
praising
you
God.
had the power to
Good.
Well, that's good.
Reverend Dave, you've shared with us a little bit, but I'm going to come back around to you one time here before I talk about a couple things I want to talk about tonight. But it's your turn. Share with us from your wisdom.
Well, the only wisdom I have is from God, so, and from Mike, who's like God to me. Right now is a good time. It's getting close to Christmas, and people are starting to think about buying gifts, so it's going to slow down right around Christmas, but right after it's going to pick up again. And for several months afterwards, it's going to pick up. And that's what I'm looking forward to is the new year. And I heard something troubling that a friend of mine wrote, an old Army buddy, and he said, Phase 1, Ebola hits the United States. Phase 2, it spreads and becomes an epidemic. Phase 3, people are told to stay indoors and not go out. Phase 4, Obama declares martial law, no elections, no unnecessary travel, no nothing. Phase 5, we get to keep Obama till we all die. So let's hope we never get to Phase 5.
Kill me now.
I don't believe it will ever get to that point. I don't believe that scenario is going to take place, but it is an interesting thought, isn't it? I still have faith in God that He's in control. I don't mean to turn this into a preaching session here, but everybody has to know what I feel, and that's exactly the way I believe and the way things will happen. I'm claiming it. But anyway, you got anything else you want to add to us, Dave?
One last thing. I have faith in God too, but I'm being proactive. So if we can make a difference, let's make the difference, and let's do something about it. Like I said in my earlier talk, let's be proactive and let's go out there and really do these things. Whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter what we're doing, so long as we're doing something. So I really believe in that. So, but I really believe that Obama is the foreshadowing of the Antichrist. Now that we've seen what Obama does, I believe that the Antichrist is going to be very, very similar to him. Of course, I hope and pray that the pre-tribulation rapture is the way it's going to happen, but no guarantees. But it'll be so much easier for the world to accept the Antichrist because they've seen what Obama's done and what an Antichrist can do to a nation or to a world should he choose. So I won't preach either. So,
but we have the opportunity, we have the well, opportunity is the best word for it. We have the opportunity to get out and change the world. We have the opportunity to go forward and make the world a better place. And that's why I have firmly believed in network marketing for years and years and years now, more years than I count. But I believe network marketing can make the world a better place. Who is it, Eric Worre, that claims that network marketing can make the world a better place? We have the answer. Now go out and do it. Anyway, I've got a couple of things I want to talk about a little bit, and I'm trying my best to figure out a way to keep this all generic. I'll talk about specifics and program specifics with anybody off the call where we're not being recorded on another, on a line. Anybody has anything they need to talk about specifically, you can always call and ask, and I will be glad to help and answer any question you can. My thought for this evening is, I don't know how many times that as I'm scrolling different things on the internet and the Facebook and seeing all the floods of ads that come into my mailbox and things like that, and one thing everybody is talking about and really pushing and they're saying, if I do such and such, if I get in such and such program, if I do this, I can create a flood of traffic to my website. My question tonight to y'all is, what are you going to do with that traffic? What do you need that traffic for? What do you want that traffic to do? Do you really need it? Now, all of y'all have heard the same thing I've heard and seen the same ads and everything. Let me open the mic to anybody that wants to comment on that first, and then I'll comment. But anybody got answers to those questions? Why do we need traffic? Why do we need a flood of people coming to our website? How many does it actually take to build a profitable business? Let me open it up. Anybody want to comment on that?
Well, basically, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it doesn't matter how many people you get to your website. If they don't click and fill out a form and ask for information, you haven't accomplished anything.
That's a real valid statement. Reverend Dave, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, to get a successful business, I firmly believe you only need 3 strong leaders, and that's people who recruit, and they need 3 strong leaders. So, and so on and so forth. And I believe we don't need to have everybody in the world to join us to be a success and to make, let's face it, a lot of money. With any program that any of us are in, we only really need 3. Some programs can do it as few as 2, but they need to be people who can recruit and who know 2 people who can also recruit. So that's the problem. A lot of people say they want to do things, and yet they're not willing to recruit. They want to sit back on their haunches and basically let everybody else do the work around them. And networking is about working. It is about working. It's not about sitting on your tail and waiting for somebody to bless you. I don't believe that for a second. I work hard at my business. My wife will tell you that. She thinks I work too hard. She thinks I spend too much time in front of my computer. But that's okay. I'm doing it for her. I'm doing it to make a better life for us. And someday we will have that better life. And then I'll have the time freedom to do what she wants to do, and that's travel. So, but I really believe that you have to work. You can't just sit back and wait for somebody else to do the work for you. And if you can find 3 strong leaders who can also recruit you will have it made in the shade. I really believe that.
Thank you. Anybody else want to comment before we go on further?
I agree with what you said, Reverend Dave, but I was always told 2. But if you include yourself, I guess that would be 3 too, if you want to look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I have, well, before I speak up, David, we didn't hear from you. We heard from everybody else. What you got to say about it?
Well, I don't need a bunch of traffic. I just need people that's willing to do the work and quit taking up space.
What are those people that you want to do the work and quit taking up space? What do they need?
Well, they've had it from me. They've had emails, and the emails said that I needed them to get a Skype account so I could talk to them. I've done all I can do.
Well, let me ask you a question. And I want to get back into what Dave and Rev Dave had to say there a few minutes ago. But let me ask you a question, David, and everybody else, anybody else that has a comment on it. Why do you think that these people that you're sponsoring, they're sitting back on their haunches and not doing anything, even though you send them countless emails and suggestions and things to try and things to do? Why do you suspect that they just are still sitting back waiting?
I have no idea. If they won't talk to me, I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Now you're hitting on where I'm headed to. Reverend Dave, you almost preached my sermon and took my fire away, but I am very, very, very pleased with that, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people that understand what you just got through saying. I got a different number. You said 3 and Marnie said 2, and I will have to agree with you that with most any program with as few as 2, you can build a network and you can build a team. I've done some research over here over the last couple of weeks and thinking, and I have come up with a number of 4. You what?
And you hurt yourself.
Oh, my wife's over here being peanut gallery here. I've come up with a number of 4, and you could do it with 3, you can do it with 2, and just as well. But the reason I said 4 is because with 4 you can build practically any program that's out there. I don't know of any program that you can't build, and build strongly, and build largely, build a large team and organization with 4. The key to it is those 4 need to be of a like mind. They need to believe what you believe about the business that you're talking about, and it's not any specific business. They need to believe what you believe. They need to understand what you understand. They need to commit to finding 4 people themselves. If you find 4 people, chances are they ain't going to do nothing unless you've done one thing first, unless you have qualified those 4 people, unless you have talked to those 4 people before they join your organization, before they join your program or your opportunity. You need to talk to them, and you need to qualify them. You need to interview them. When I was in the brick and mortar worker day world, and I was for a while, a number of years, I generally found myself in a management position where I was interviewing a lot of prospective employees And the one thing that I looked at was experience. That was good. You know, if they had experience, how much experience, what experience did they have? Did their experience, well, did it match the needs that I have for a particular position I might have been trying to fill? Or the most important thing that I was looking for, though, was did they have that like mind that I had? Did they have that burning desire to do whatever it took to accomplish whatever goal we had set, whatever goal the position they were applying for had, what needed to be achieved? Did they have what it took, the drive? That's what I was looking for. The same thing with network marketing. We need to talk with people. We need to pick 4 people out. Before we ever start to promote and advertise for people to come to our site, we need to first, and I believe firmly in sitting down, put it in writing, what you want. What kind of people do you want? Do you want to sponsor just anybody that comes along? Or do you want someone that has a like mind as you and has a willing, not necessarily do they know exactly what the job is? Do they know exactly what's going to be required of them? That's something you're going to tell them. But do they have a burning desire to succeed no matter what it takes? Within reason. Now, I'm not talking about, going out and doing things that would be against their nature, against their will, anything like that. I'm talking about, do they have that desire in them? And the only way you're going to find that out is to what I call interview these people. Not necessarily calling it a formal interview, but talk with them, learn from them, and when you're talking, don't just speak to them. Listen. That's a key word. Listen to what they have to say. Listen to what their goals are, what their dream, what their vision of what it is that you're wanting to, you wanting them to do. What vision do they have? What dream do they have? And when you find these 4 people that have a like mind as you, that are willing to do what is necessary, what it takes to get the job done, then those people are the 4 people you want. Anybody else that comes along, be honest as I can be, and it sounds pretty cold and pretty cruel, you don't need them. If they do not have that drive, that already in them, because you can't teach that drive. You can't teach that burning desire to succeed. You can you can help share with them what your vision of success is. You can tell them what the job is and what has to be done for them to succeed. But that burning drive and desire to succeed, you can't teach that. You can't give it to them. They have to have that desire built in already. So that's what you're looking for when you're talking to people. Actually, you need to be doing more listening than talking. Giving people a question or a statement and allow them to, expand on that, expand what they believe, what their feelings are, what their goal is about the same subject. When you found those 4 people are the ones you need to build your team around. You've heard the word mastermind, and if you hadn't heard the word mastermind, you can go to our website. Let's see here. See if I can find the exact page it's on real quick. I'm pretty good.
I have that video.
You have the video that I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have it on my business and I mean my video list. It's in IBO Toolbar.
If
I
you,
have that video.
well, the one I'm talking about for sure is if you go to our website and you hover over main menu, it drops a menu down, and you scroll down about 3 or 4 items. The fourth item is called Who We Are, and it tells everybody that's willing to read this little bitty mice print that's on there. It tells everybody who we are, but it opens up to start with a video. The video is Napoleon Hill. I'm sure most all of y'all have heard of Napoleon Hill. He is a author, motivational speaker, a great leader. He wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. If any of you hadn't read it, I highly recommend that you read it. But I've read, well, my second or third volume of it is about to be wore out here. I've read it many times, but Napoleon Hill opens up with a video. This is a rather old video, obviously, with Napoleon Hill being on there, but he explains what we are. He explains we're a mastermind group. And he explains what the mastermind principle is. I highly recommend just going to the website. If you don't look nothing else, if you don't read anything else, if you don't read even the 2 or 3 paragraphs that I've gotten written down below explaining what the winning team is, if you will just listen to Napoleon Hill, it's I don't know, it's about 20-minute video. It's not real short, but it's not real long either, but it's well worth it. But that's what you're looking for. Those 4 people you're looking for need to be your mastermind group. They need to be what you, the leader, you need to be the leader, but that's what you, the leader, needs to build your team around. And those 4 people, I know you've heard this before, they need to do something. They need to duplicate. They need to duplicate what you've done, and that's what you need to teach. And that is how to duplicate what you're doing, how for them to find those 4 people. And in all honesty, when you set out to find those 4 people, you're not necessarily going to find them just out there throwing your link out there, throwing ads out there. Now, I got nothing against advertising. It works. Advertising will bring people into your business. They'll bring customers in. Advertising is a not only a good thing, it's a necessary thing for any business that you're running. However, you might not, those 4 people that you need to start to build your team with might not necessarily be found by just going out there and throwing advertisements, because right now there is just a tremendous flood of people, especially this day and age, especially based on the things that Reverend Dave was talking about a while ago. With this day and age, there's a lot of people that are looking for hope. They're looking for something to give them hope, to give them a vision of hope, and they almost jump at anything that people throw out there on the internet or put out dangle in front of them. They'll almost jump at anything. So finding people is not your problem. The problem that you're facing, the challenge, I'll change that from problem to challenge. The challenge that you're facing is, how do you find those 4 people that you're going to build your mastermind group with, those 4 people that you're going to start to build your team with, and your business, your inner empire. We're empire building. And when you find those 4 people, teaching them to duplicate what you've done will be an easy job because they're going to immerse themselves in the business. They're going to immerse themselves in what you have to share with them and what you have to teach them. And they're going to be hungry and looking for more, and they're going to go and apply what you share with them. They're going to apply it, and therefore they're going to duplicate, and they're going to find their own four. They need to stay in contact with you. They need to stay in together with you as a team. But they need to start forming their own team too. So each one of those four forms their own team of four. And each one of those four finds, which is now 16, each one of the 16 needs to find their team of four. And that's what we need to be teaching, is duplication. And in all honesty, it doesn't matter what business, what opportunity networking that you are trying to build. Every network marketing business out there, no matter what format it's in, it could be in a cycler program, a matrix program, it could be straight line program, it just any program you got out there will still work the same and still require the same. It requires you to build your team first, and your team doesn't have to have hundreds of people on it. It does not have to have, even tens of people or whatever. What you need is 4 strong people that will duplicate what you are doing, and the only way you're going to find that is first you're going to have to become the CEO of your business. You're going to have to become the the leader. You're going to build a team. You're going to have to become the leader, and you're going to have to become ruthless almost. That's not a real good word, but it's the only one I can think of right offhand, because what you're going to have to find is those people that you can teach to duplicate yourself, and if they don't have that burning desire within them while you are interviewing them, you almost need to tell them, keep looking. Tell them the opportunity is there and the opportunity is good and it'll be good for them, but they need to keep looking. What you need to do is just find those 4. In all probability, each and every one of you could probably sit down and list 4 people that you feel have these qualities and that you've worked with in the past on whatever program. They're there. And I would start with those people rather than just starting out with 1,000 strangers or 10,000 strangers that might happen by your website. Once you've built that mastermind, that good solid group of 4, at that point, okay, you're in a position now that you can take those that don't have quite the desire, quite the burn, because they may acquire it as they see you and your leadership team working, and your leadership team, moving forward and advancing and gaining. Then they may develop that desire, but that's not something you can teach. That's something they're going to have to see and develop on their own. That's something that they're going to have to learn on their own. So rather than beating your head against a brick wall waiting for these people, as David put it a while ago, I don't know exactly what phrase he used, but these people that are sitting back on their haunches waiting for it to happen, waiting for it to fall in their lap, waiting for you to do it for them. They won't. You won't. You don't have time to do that unless you're all in much better position than I think you are. And that's not a put down in any means, but what you need is to start building this mastermind group and building it and finding those 4 people. Go through your list of contacts. Go through the list of former contacts, former people that you've built network marketing, former people that you've worked with, maybe people that you've worked in a workaday job that you can, in your mind, identify as the people with the burning desire that you're looking for, and contact these people, talk to these people, find out if they really do have what you're looking for. And if they do, grab hold of them, start building that team. Oh well. Anybody got any comments or anything about what I've just been talking about? By the way, I tell you, this next year, if you will find 4 people that you can build a mastermind group with and a team with, you can earn over $500,000 this next year with Stifle alone. By the way, and that's just in one-time bonuses. But it does take 4. That's the reason I picked the number 4. All right, I'm gonna quit talking and open it up to anybody who wants to comment on that. I know somebody's
Well,
awake.
I really agree with you. I especially agree with the premise that people have to have the same mindset, but it's also important that they can be teachable and that they will work. That they won't, like I said, sit back and wait for you to do it all for them. We can train them the best way we can, but when push comes to shove, they're going to have to do the work themselves. And we can supply rotators and capture pages and all sorts of things, and but when it comes down to it, we need them to do the work too. So we can train them, but we can't do the work for them.
That's kind of what I've been saying in different ways and on a different slant on it. But what I've been saying is, yeah, we can teach them we can teach them our program. We can teach them the ins and outs. We can teach them the rules, the marketing plan, the product. We can teach all that, and that we should be doing. What we cannot teach is that burning desire that is within them. If they don't have that burning desire, they're not going to do it. They're not going to build the program. It doesn't matter what you teach or how much you teach. It's just not going to happen until they. Now, I'm not saying that they can't use you and look at you as an example, and I'm not saying that they can't develop this burning desire themselves, and that there's no hope whatsoever for them. But what I'm saying is that burning desire really needs to be there before you get started, before you really start. But what you're saying, David, is the same thing. Ultimately they have to get out and do the work. We can't do the work for them. If we could, we wouldn't need them, would we?
And if they don't have that dream that Dexter Yeager so profoundly preached, message after message, if they don't have a reason why, the best thing we can do is supply them with a reason why. Take them dream building. If we're not in the same area, encourage them to go out and look at things that they want. Encourage them to look at a high-end car. Encourage them to look at mink coats for their wife. Encourage them to go to the diamond stores and try on rings for the men and bracelets and all sorts of different things for the women. Give them a reason why. Like Dexter said it, without a dream, we all perish. And if we don't have a reason why, we're all going to die. We're all going to basically sit back. We need something, like Mike says, to drive us. And that's the dream.
That's absolutely right. That's probably a better phrase to use than what I was saying, and I was talking about burning desire, but that burning desire comes from that dream. They've got to have that dream, and you're right. That's one thing you can do is you can encourage them to go out and dream build. If they're in the same area you're at, in the same town, in the same location, or conveniently, where you can get together with them, take them dream building. Go look at houses. Go look at, property. What is their dream? Do they want a big house, little house? Do they want a big boat? Some of you live near the coast. Take them. If they're local, close to you, take them. Show them boats. Go down near a boatyard or a dock. And just
David
let 'em-
wants to rebuild his engine.
Yeah, if if you want to rebuild your engine, I have rebuilt an engine before, but or two, but
But that's too much like work, right?
for me it is nowadays. It used to be probably fun, or I wouldn't have been doing it. But nowadays it's probably too much like work for me. But But that's the thing is take them, show them. Go by a newsstand, pick up a couple magazines. You can find some dream type magazines. But do whatever things that you can share with them and show them. Build and by the way, in case you haven't figured it out, what I'm talking about is building relationships. Because with these four that are going to become your mastermind group, your team, those people are the ones you need to build a relationship with. You need to build a relationship, but not with everybody out there. You need to build that strong relationships with your four mastermind group, and teach them to do the same with their four, is to build that relationship. Dream build with them. That's one way that they will get that burning desire, within them, is to have that dream. Or Rev Dave put it another way in another phrase, which is very, very applicable, and that is a reason why. What is your reason why? Do you have a reason why? Is it written down? I got a poem right here. It comes from, actually, Napoleon Hill. It says, I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay me no more. However, I begged at evening, when I counted my scanty store. For life is just an employer. It gives you what you ask. But once you've set their wages, why, you must bear the task. I worked for menial hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid. I've got that on my desk on the door over the hutch, where I sit here and I look at it every day. That was by Napoleon Hill, by the way. But it's the same thing. It's a reason why, because my reason why is to have life pay me what I want, not what I think that life will pay me, but pay me what I want. It will. But I've got to ask for it. I've got to bargain for it. And once I've bargained for it, I have got to do the work to make it happen. So many people come into the network marketing business probably because they've read too many networking ads, too many ads on the internet, but they come into the networking business expecting it to just happen, expecting that the networking business is going to give it to them, but they won't give it nothing. They have to do the work, and in order to know, understand, learn, and actually do the work, they've got to have a reason why they're going to do that work. And that reason why creates the burning desire. What I'm saying is, look for those 4. Don't worry about, if you go out and talk to 100 people and 99 of them say, no thank you. Or 99 of them say, yeah, wow, I want to get in that business, and they jump in and don't do a thing. They sit there and don't do anything. They didn't have that reason why. They didn't have that burning desire. They didn't have the dream. So, don't worry about them. Don't lose sleep over them. Jim Rome, and I know you all know who Jim Rome was. He was one of my favorite motivational speakers, and he told a story. The story actually is out of the Bible. He didn't quote it in such a way that it was word for word out of the Bible, but his story was the same. But it was casting, seeds. And what happens to seeds? There's several different scenarios. Some of the seeds fall by the wayside, and they don't ever even start to grow. Some of the seeds, you plant the seeds and the birds come by and get them. Some of the seeds fall in among thorns and weeds, and they get choked out. And some, very, very, very few, but some of the seeds actually fall into good ground, and they grow and they flourish. That's you got to throw all of the seeds in order to get those few that actually grow. So yeah, you got to look at a lot of people. We're coming full circle around here. Yeah, it's good to have a lot of people coming to you, answering your ads, coming and looking at your website. But your main goal is, what you want to do is establish contact so that you can talk to them, so that you can find, is that burning desire in you? Is that flame in you? You may have to fan that flame a little bit to get it growing, but it's got to be there to start with. So,
Mike, I apologize. My son's home. He wants to go to bed. I'm going to let you guys go.
Good night. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to let everybody else go too, unless somebody has a comment or question. If you do, I will be glad to do what I can to answer or help. If I can't, maybe somebody else can. But other than that, we've gone up and hit 9 o'clock here, so we can.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
I was wondering how I can get the people out that's taking up space to clear that spot.
You can't. Just move on. Just move on. Don't worry about them. Don't lose sleep over them. Because if that spot's full, just keep going. You'll still find those 4, and those 4 will fit into your group somewhere, somehow. Don't worry about the ones that won't do it. Yeah, be there for them. Support them, answer their question, help them. If they need, if they need information, if they need, help that you can give them, but you can't do the work for them, and the work is not going to get done unless you first start out. What you're looking for is a mastermind group, and I keep using that phrase because it's on the screen right in front of me. But what you're looking for is 4 strong leaders. 4 strong leaders. You can do it with 2. You can do it with 3. You can do it with 6. I used to be in Amway, and Amway taught 6. Okay, that was about 100 years ago, I think. But some of those, Dave talking about Dexter Yeager and some of the big, huge conventions and meetings and things we had, and Dave and I we didn't know each other then, but we both sat in the same conventions and same meetings. We both heard Dexter preaching the same stories and same strong. And that was Dexter's biggest point that he ever made was, you know, you gotta light that fire. You gotta build that dream. You gotta, if they don't have, you've got to give people a reason why. You've got to help them develop their reason why. So don't wait for the people that are sitting around not doing nothing. When they see everybody else moving around them, they'll move. It'll happen. But don't wait for them. Don't try to drag them along. You know, just that's what we're looking for, is those 4 people. You know, if you got to have 1,000 people come across your website to find 4 people, do it. But structure your advertising, and you know, in such a way that you know you get the information it takes to contact them, to talk to them, and if they won't talk back to you, look for another one. Keep looking. You'll find one. Don't give up. They're there. But that's all you really need to build a large, successful group that will not only accomplish your reason why, but will accomplish their reasons why too. And ultimately, that's my goal, is to help everybody accomplish their reason why, because I know when I help everybody accomplish their reason why, I will accomplish mine. That is kind of rephrased from one of Zig Ziglar's quotes, and y'all all know what that quote is. So, anyway, you got any more questions?
No. I just got somebody sitting up there on IBO starting now, $10, $10K per month in just 10 months, and they'll do all the work for you.
And they'll do all the work for you, huh? And I'm gonna tell you, they may find a lot of people, but they won't make any money, because those lot of people are gonna sit back and wait for him to do all the work for them, because that's what they promoted, that's what they advertised, that's what they said. You know, that I'm going to do all the work for you. You don't have to do nothing. Just put your name on the dotted line here. You know, we'll do everything else for you.
Yeah.
And when
I'm gonna go about that one. I'm gonna go with what Doug said earlier. Run.
Doug is wise. Doug is wise. Does anybody else have anything they want to add or comment on, or a question you want to ask, or have I bored everybody?
No, I was just waiting till you were finished so I could say goodnight.
Well, Marnie, I will allow you to do that right now and say good night, and I really appreciate the fact that you've been in here tonight.
Oh, well, I appreciate being in, because it was a good topic to be speaking on, and well, it was just good.
Thank you. Now,
Thanks, Mike. It was good. Appreciate.
Oh, Ken, you're still, I didn't realize you were still on. You haven't said anything all night.
I said hi when you got on, but you probably didn't hear me.
No, because you were on before I was.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
Sandy, do you have anything you want to add, or?
I don't. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being in here. We appreciate Doug listening in. And David, well, I appreciate you being in here from Melbourne, Florida. Is that right? Melbourne, Florida? Anyway, we will be back again here on, what night is this? This is Tuesday. We'll be back again Thursday night. So, look forward to hearing everybody if you can make it. And with that, I'm going to say good night and God bless.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. God bless you.